The city was called Neo-Viridia. Now it was a tomb. Skyscrapers clawed at the dark sky, their windows like empty eyes. Flickering neon signs cast long shadows, red, blue, gold, pulsing softly like a dying heart. Elias stood on a broken balcony, the only witness. He wore patched, worn clothes, with dust clinging to him always. Each day was a search, for food, for water, for a reason to continue. Loneliness was a heavy cloak settling on his shoulders, a constant, silent companion. He had forgotten the sound of laughter, or perhaps he chose not to remember. Once, this city teemed with life, millions of souls, their dreams echoing in the silence. Now cars rusted in the streets and nature was slowly reclaiming its own. Vines crept up concrete walls, wildflowers bloomed in cracked pavement. A beautiful, desolate landscape. Man's grand achievements were now just monuments to what was lost. Elias felt a familiar ache, a hollow space in his chest. Was it despair or just emptiness? The wind whispered through ruins, carrying forgotten voices. He was a speck of dust in a vast, indifferent universe. Yet a spark remained, a stubborn refusal to fade. The night was deep, and so was his resolve. He often climbed the tallest tower, the one they called the Spire. From there, he watched the dead city. Tonight, something was different, a flicker far below, down in the shadowed canyons. An alley, usually pitch black. A shape. Moving? It was too far to be sure. His breath caught in his throat. Could it be? After all this time? His heart hammered against his ribs, a wild, unfamiliar rhythm. Fear mingled with a strange hope, a dangerous, fragile thing. He had seen phantoms before, tricks of the light, illusions born of solitude. But this felt substantial. Was his mind finally breaking? The silence could do that. It could whisper lies, create monsters from shadows. He squeezed his eyes shut, then opened them again. The shape was still there, or the impression of it. A brief movement, then gone. He had to know. The risk was immense. Unknown dangers lurked below. But what was life without risk? What was survival without hope? He checked his meager supplies, a sturdy pipe for defense, his flashlight, a precious beam. He would go down. He would face the shadows for the chance, however slim. The journey down was slow. Crumbling stairs, treacherous drops. He reached the alley. It was darker than he imagined, the air heavy, still. He swept his light around. Empty. Of course it was empty. Then he saw it, a faint outline in the grime. A door, hidden in the wall. It was old, made of heavy steel, no handle, no obvious lock. A symbol was etched on it, faded, almost invisible. It looked like a spiraling galaxy, or perhaps a seed. He felt a strange pull, a sense of destiny. He had to see what lay beyond. He pushed against the door. It didn't budge. He ran his hands along its edges, searching for a mechanism, a hidden switch, a release. His fingers found a small indentation. He pressed. A low click echoed, then a hiss of compressed air. The door slid inward, slowly. A wave of cold air washed over him. It smelled ancient, untouched by the ruined world above. He stepped inside. Darkness greeted him. His flashlight cut a path. A long corridor stretched ahead, smooth walls, no dust, as if time had stopped here. A faint hum vibrated through the floor. The corridor opened into a vast chamber. Soft lights glowed from panels, computers hummed quietly. Everything was pristine, untouched by the decay above. It was a relic of the old world, preserved, waiting. Elias stared in disbelief. How had this survived? Why was it still powered? In the center of the room, bathed in a gentle blue light, stood a single tall cylinder. Frost covered its surface, a cryo chamber. He had read about such things, myths from a bygone era. His steps were hesitant, drawn by an unseen force. Hope and fear warred within him. He reached the chamber. His hand trembled as he wiped away the frost. Through the cleared glass, he saw a face, serene, perfect. It was a woman, her hair fanned out like a dark halo. She seemed to be sleeping, lost in a dream of ages. Life suspended, waiting for a dawn that never came. Tears welled in Elias's eyes. He was not crying from sorrow, but from a profound, overwhelming relief. She was not just another survivor. She was a promise, a chance for humanity to begin anew. He was no longer the last man. His loneliness, a burden lifted. He had found Eve, and in her, he found the future.